My name is Jeffrey Zwern, and I'm the president of IDS Research and Development Incorporated. This video is copyrighted and should not be considered exhaustive by any means. On October 14, 2020, I overnighted a package to the President and Chief Executive Officer of UL, Ms. Jennifer Scanlon. In that package was a copy of my 43-page expert report. In addition, there was a peer-reviewed expert report by Mr. Merton Bunker, professional engineer who was an employee of NFPA and served as staff liaison for NFPA 72. Mr. Bunker has 34 years of engineering experience and is a licensed professional engineer in 11 states. In response to the package that I sent on October 14, 2020, is a 2-page letter that was sent by Mr. Lawrence Shudak, who is the principal engineer of UL. UL's president, Ms. Scanlon, tasked Mr. Shudak to respond to the package which I sent to her. To the right is one of the paragraphs subsumed in that letter. It states, both Chapter 29 of NFPA 72, the National Fire Alarm and Signaling Code, and UL 985 stipulate that a wire-to-wire short circuit fault is to be applied only where non-fire alarm equipment is directly interconnected to the fire alarm system. Is to be applied only, and the term directly interconnected do not reside in any of the published editions of UL 985, UL 1023, and NFPA 72. If they don't reside in the standards, no one can just decide that they have any impact upon these standards, nor can anyone claim that the standards are based upon things that are not part of the standards. Mr. Shudak's letter is both baffling and inaccurate. The actual wording in the standard is common wiring. Circuit wiring common to both systems. When common wiring is used for combination systems, it shall be connected in such a manner that internal fault conditions, shorts, opens grounds in the non-fire alarm burglary system circuit wiring, or faults between the fire and the non-fire alarm system circuits will not interfere with the supervision of the fire alarm system or prevent intended alarm signal transmission. Under 41.3.1.3 it states short circuit or open circuit single faults in the non-fire equipment or in the wiring between the non-fire equipment and the fire alarm system shall, which is mandatory, not impede or impair the monitoring for integrity of the fire alarm system, nor impede or impair any fire alarm signal transmissions or operations. Under 29.7.7.5 it states, where common wiring is employed for a combination system, the equipment for other than the fire alarm system shall be connected to the common wiring of the system so that short circuits, open circuits, grounds, or any fault in this equipment or interconnection between this equipment and the fire alarm system wiring does not interfere with the supervision of the fire alarm system or prevent alarm or trouble operation. In this letter, Mr. Shudak states the following. UL applies clause 41.3.3 as follows. Products, devices may additionally include security listing in addition to fire alarm listing when both fire and security signals can be powered by the product. An example includes zone expanders. These products connected directly to the communication power bus are considered fire alarm products. False. They're fire and burglary products, even where only separate security devices are interconnected to them. False. In this instance, the combination fire and security product devices function as an isolation device. False. Devices isolating non-fire alarm listed devices from the communication power bus. False. This alleviates the need to conduct a short circuit test in the communication power bus by a nationally recognized testing laboratory? That's false. This is a Johnson Controls DSC Power Series Pro control unit. This is a zone expansion module with a capacity of 8 zones. This is a hardwired transceiver, 4-wire smoke detector, wireless radio, Bosch motion detector, RF hardwired keypad, and a standard keypad. This test proves that the claims made by UL's principal engineer, Mr. Lawrence Shudak, are devastatingly false. This zone expansion module incorporates the bus coming from the control unit, the core bus, also known as a data bus, and it has 8 hardwired zones. Each of the zones has an end-of-line resistor on it. UL claims that this zone expander, even if it only has security intrusion detection devices connected to it, is considered a fire alarm product. UL further claims that this is an isolation device and focuses on the 8 hardwired zones and supposedly tests these zones to make sure that the system is complying. Why would you test something that automatically is inherently supervised for fire and burn zones? If it's a normally open circuit, the resistor is at the end of the line in parallel with the circuit. If it's a normally closed circuit, the resistor is in series. It defies logic that you have to test this through the UL listing process when this is completely the issue. This is vulnerable, unprotected core bus that runs throughout the house. Everything that is required to connect to the core bus has to be connected in parallel. Therefore, when any short occurs from any attack from fire, the system instantly fails. I am now going to throw a short across the bus and see how the smoke detector responds. As you can see, the wireless transceiver is non-functional. Both keypads, the standard keypad and the RF hardwired keypad, are non-functional. The smoke detector is an alarm. The red LED is about the size of a grain of rice. The siren is not sounding. The keypads are not sounding. And now we'll take a look at what the central station received as a result of activating the hardwired smoke detector. On this particular panel, the core bus can be run up to 14,000 feet away if it's configured as such. Therefore, we have this wiring, this core bus data bus, running throughout the protected premises, in attics, in walls, in garages, in basements, completely unprotected and vulnerable. As you can see, the central station did not receive any alarm signals. They received trouble signals, a sensor trouble, and a system peripheral zone trouble. The central station is not going to notify the fire department. The fire department will never respond to a trouble signal. If the customers call, they're going to say there's a trouble. This makes the alarm system extremely dangerous, unreliable, and non-conforming. Alarm contractors have a duty to comply with UL and NFPA 72 standards. Equipment manufacturers have a duty to comply with UL and NFPA 72 as well. The equipment manufacturers also have significant liability because they're representing a product that was never properly tested. As a result, this system should not be installed